Testing. Oh, fantastic. Hello, everyone. If I could get your attention, please. Good evening. We are so excited to have you out with us this evening. Thanks for braving the cold and the snow. And welcome to the Millcreek City Inauguration. My name is Carrie Kronk, and I'm going to be your Master of Ceremonies this evening. And I feel like I should tell you that I have actually never emceed a swearing-in ceremony. I have lots of practice swearing, but not the swearing in. But I'm going to try and do the right thing, all right? I'll do my best. We also want to thank all of the elected officials that are here this evening. We have so many county, city, and state leaders. I've been given a list, and I'm going to quickly try and go over these names because we do appreciate you being here. We have County Councilman Sam Granato. We have Jenny Wilson. We have Mayor Daly of Holiday. We have Cottonwood Heights Mayor Kelvin Collamore, Representative Lynn Hemingway, Senator Jamie Iwamoto, Representative Patrice Arendt, Cottonwood Heights Councilman Mike Peterson, Mike Shelton, Scott Bracken, T. Tyler, County Councilman Amy Winder Newton, Mayor Ben McAdams, and Sheriff Jim Winder, as well as Fred Healy. So we have a lot of people here with us this evening, and we so appreciate you coming. We especially want to thank all of the Millcreek residents who have joined us here tonight. This is an important and historic evening for our city and our community, and we so appreciate you being here and being a part of it. I don't know about you, maybe the guys won't get this, but the ladies will. I had so much fun this season doing my return address labels on my Christmas card and putting Millcreek, Utah. It's the little things, right? The program is going to begin with a flag presentation by the Unified Fire and Police Authority. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by the Grant Stake 11-year-old Scout Patrol, these dapper young people here sitting on the front row. Following the pledge, please continue standing while the Skyline High School Madrigals sing our national anthem. So if I could, I'd like the audience to please rise for the presentation of the colors. We now will have the flag presentation.
Present. Arms.
Will the audience please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
We will now have a few remarks by Fred Healy and then by Salt Lake County Mayor Ben McAdams. Following Mayor McAdams, there will be a short video presentation about the history of Millcreek.
I guess there's one advantage in not winning. You get to be the first speaker. I am so excited for this new city and for all of the people, including every one of you who made it possible. This allows us to have representation in how we are governed. And I'm so grateful for that process. And I'm only one of many who helped make that possible. It all began with Anna Claire Shepard and Marianne Strong. And then a little over 3 years ago, we gathered in Shawnee Hayes' home. Shawnee and Hugh Matheson, Amy McConkey, Russ Booth, and myself, and Lamont Tyler. And we created representative citizens for government, self-government, and made or helped bring about Millcreek City. And tonight, it's a reality as we see the first mayor and city council sworn in. And it became a city. Jeff and his group wisely created the city last year on the 28th or 29th, and that allowed us to get additional tax revenues that we would have had to have waited for. They're doing a marvelous job. As I've had an opportunity to visit with the city council and the mayor, they're giving it their all. And I think it's appropriate right now, let's give them a hand for all that they have done behind the scenes. And if I may speak from the bottom of my heart, a thank you to every one of you who helped make this a city. This will be the best thing that Millcreek has experienced because it will allow us to govern ourselves. So if I could, may I ask you to give yourselves a big round of applause as well. I look forward with each one of you in serving in the city. I've already stepped forward and have the opportunity to serve on the Planning Commission. I hope each one of you will look for opportunities to serve in the city because volunteerism is what will make Millcreek City great, as it already is. And it will only become greater as each one of us gives part of our time, our service, and our abilities to make it great. I look forward to working with each one of you and thank each of you for making Millcreek a city. I'll turn the time over to the mayor.
Well, thank you, and what a pleasure to be with you today to celebrate this incredible occasion on the birth of a new city, the 17th city in the Salt Lake Valley, and to celebrate, the city's already been born, I know, last year. 2016 is the birth year, but this today to celebrate the inauguration of your newly elected officials. I'm Salt Lake County Mayor Ben McAdams, and earlier today I was actually driving to an appointment, and my wife called, and she said, "Do you have a spare second? I need you to stop and pick up something for me." Her day had gotten busy and she didn't have time. She wondered if I could stop and pick something up. So I went into a store, and as I was checking out, the clerk said, "You know who you look like? You are a dead ringer for Ben McAdams." And I said, "Well, I am Ben McAdams." So she shook my hand, was all gushing and happy to meet me, and I was a little flattered, a little embarrassed, and then she stopped and she called the clerk in the aisle next to her, and she said, "Hey, it's the mayor of Millcreek right here." So I looked at my clock and realized I had a few hours where I could maybe hold on to that title. So I just didn't correct her. I just smiled and said thank you. But I guess after tonight, I'll have to correct her. I'm not the mayor of Millcreek. But I just want to say what a pleasure it has been to serve you, the residents of Millcreek. When I first decided to run for Salt Lake County Mayor 4 years ago, my wife and I and our kids, we live in Salt Lake City. And we had a neighbor come over and say, "Hey, I read in the newspaper that you're running for Salt Lake County Mayor. That's great. We're just really disappointed you're going to have to move." And I said, what do you mean move? And they said, well, don't you have to live in the county in order to run for county mayor? And I said, no, actually, and I explained to them how Salt Lake County is not only the government of our unincorporated areas, but we are the government of the Salt Lake Valley. And there are many things we do for our cities, from Salt Lake City to, I was earlier today with the Salt Lake City Council talking about our plans to address homelessness, to meeting with Draper City about issues related to the prison redevelopment that's happening there, to Harriman and Riverton, and all the cities on the west side as it relates to growth and economic development out there. We work with all of our 17 cities in this great Salt Lake Valley. So I just want to say, while it's been a pleasure to be your unofficial mayor for the last 4 years, I will continue to serve you. I look forward to serving you and working with your elected leadership here in Millcreek City. I can say I've had the opportunity to work with Jeff over the last several months as he's been working to bring together the plans and make all the decisions that he and his newly elected council that they need to do to start a new city, and it is a lot of work. I can tell you, just watching them, it is a lot of work. You are in good hands with your newly elected mayor, your newly elected city council, who will be charged to make the decisions that will chart the future of this great city of Millcreek. And I want to pledge to you that as your Salt Lake County mayor, joined with several members of the Salt Lake County Council who are here today, we are eager to continue to serve you in whatever capacity you need us, or to implement whatever dreams you dream up for this great city. We are here, and we will continue to be here to serve you, to represent you, and to bring forward and to make sure that this incredible city of Millcreek is a success. Thank you.
Home. It's a word that implies more than just a place to live. It represents history, community, family, a life filled with memory and smiles. What makes a city more than just a place to live? What makes it home? Is it the leaders, the citizens, the location? Or is it something else altogether that's harder to define? For us, the residents of Millcreek, our heritage of past generations and immigrants from across the world have helped define our home. Today, as our diverse community takes its first steps forward as the newest city in the Salt Lake Valley, we come together like never before on a collective course for a better future.
Millcreek is full of really engaged citizens who have, in my 29 years here, have continuously and consistently been involved in the community, caring about the community, doing things in the community, volunteering.
Millcreek is a very diverse place to live and work and play. It sprawls quite literally across the Salt Lake Valley from the foothills near Millcreek Canyon. It goes all the way west past I-15. The people here, you have all walks of life, all religions, all socioeconomic statuses. We are the perfect example of what America is.
Millcreek is such a wonderful community because we have access to our canyons. It's a very outdoorsy area where people are able to recreate.
We have refugee population. We have people who have lived here like myself for 40+ years. We have people that are multi-generational.
The history of Millcreek began in the early days of pioneer settlement in the Salt Lake Valley. By 1848, only a year after Mormon settlers first declared this is the right place, families began to call Millcreek home. Many of our current residents have direct ancestors who were the first to homestead here.
John Holliday came out and settled part of the area, a little ways up from what was called the old Upper Road. Today we call it Highland Drive. Lots of great families settled in this area. The Neffs, for whom Neffs Canyon is named, they had to work hard to get things to grow. There were advantages in this area because the mill stream and other good water sources were available. It wasn't until the post-World War II baby boom that it really became a strictly residential kind of area.
In the years after World War II, with hard work from our residents and local businesses, Millcreek has grown into one of the strongest communities in the Salt Lake area. In January of 2017, we finally became a city of our own.
There are two reasons that I see that are critical of why we became a city. One is that we now have a representation by our own neighbors. We felt like we didn't really have a voice in our community as much as we would have liked. When it came right down to making decisions, they were made by people living outside of our neighborhood. Number two is we'll be able to retain the tax base rather than sending the money elsewhere.
Now, as a city, residents and leaders can, together, create a vision for the good of our community. Plans for the future are already taking shape, with newly elected representatives keeping their eye on both yesterday and tomorrow.
Looking forward, we've seen some plans and some ideas on how we can develop some walkable neighborhoods, some neighborhoods where we can encourage outside investors to come in and develop some areas where we can have some fun new shops for people to come and participate with. I see the vision of Millcreek hopefully continuing to be a lot of what it is like currently. A place that's friendly and warm, bringing families and people in that care about safe neighborhoods.
I believe we need to take advantage of the opportunities that we have with recreation. When we try to do more with less and we have less space for building, there are ways that we can be a little more creative in working with the recreation community, because people travel from all over the world to ski here in Utah. And why not take advantage, if we are that entryway into Park City and some of our great mountains, what can we do here to increase recreation for our community?
We can build on that community and use it to improve our living conditions, improve our sidewalks, and make our community more walkable. But I see a vibrant Millcreek that has a strong economy, a strong tax base to be able to provide good services, and still focuses on neighbors and building community. And I think that, I don't know, it all ties in together for me.
History, beauty, opportunity, and community. These are the tenets of modern Millcreek City. These are what have made it a home for thousands of families throughout the decades and will guide it into the future. So now the work begins as Millcreek takes its rightful place as a city in the Salt Lake Valley, inviting every resident to help plan success for every street from east to west.
You're a part of Millcreek, and you've been a part of Millcreek, and we want you to be a part of Millcreek.
People are excited about this new opportunity, and they will do what Millcreek residents do best. That's get in, work, make the best of things, volunteer.
As their mayor, I'm just going to tell you that I will do my very best to preserve the things that are good, work hard 24/7 if it takes it, to make sure that people's problems are addressed to the extent we can, and that we engage in a vision we all agree upon, or as many people agree upon as possible, to build the Millcreek of the 21st century, the 22nd century.
This is our city. Together, we can create a prosperous future for ourselves, our children, and generations to come, who will look back with pride at where they came from, their home, our city of Millcreek.
There is a lot of excitement surrounding this new city. Right now, our new Millcreek City Council is going to be sworn in. So first, we will have the mayor, and then we'll have the council members, beginning with District 1. And once all the council members have been sworn in, we'll be favored to have James E. Moss Elementary Choir sing for us.
Please repeat after me. I do solemnly affirm
I, Jeff Silvers Trinity, do solemnly affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
repeat after me. I, Sylvia Catton,
I, Sylvia Catton,
affirm that I will support, obey, and defend
that I affirm that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
discharge my duties
and that I will discharge my duties
of my office with fidelity.
of my office with fidelity.
Please repeat after me. I, Dwight Marchant, do solemnly swear
I, Dwight Marchant, do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and that I will discharge the duties with fidelity of my office.
With fidelity.
With fidelity.
I, Sherry Jackson,
I, Sherry Jackson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Congratulations.
I, Bev Weepy,
I, Bev Weepy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and support the Constitution of the United States
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and I will discharge the duties of my office
and I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
We did it. We did it. Oh, we do have a choir presentation. I'm sorry, I'm rushing. I'm sure you can't wait for me to talk, but I'll let the choir sing first.
Just so you know, this is the James E. Moss Elementary Choir that is assembling for us. We're so excited that they could be here this evening and provide some entertainment. You guys look great. Are you ready? Almost. It's going to be worth the wait. Good job. You did such a wonderful performance. Thank you so much. We want to thank everyone who has participated this evening. We're going to close with a few remarks by our new mayor, Jeff Silvestrini, who is very excited about speaking to us this evening. And following the mayor, we're going to invite everyone to stay and have some refreshments in the Commons area right after the program, which is basically code for scrap those New Year's resolutions and eat a cookie, okay? We also have some entertainment that will be provided. We're going to have Skyline Bluegrass Band, Flint and Steel, as well as the Utah Tongan Community Singers. So thanks again, everyone, for coming out tonight and showing your support for Mill Creek City. Thank you so much.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't say anything now that I already had my chance, right? So, hey, I just want to say thanks for this great showing tonight, for people in Mill Creek that came to this ceremony. We really appreciate that. Thanks to all of the elected officials and dignitaries that care enough to come and welcome our new city's birth. I know on behalf of our city council that we're all very happy to be here, and we're also thankful and humble. And I hope we'll always stay that way. You know, on this program, there are a lot of names of people that did a lot of work to bring our city to fruition. And I want to thank all of them. I worked with a lot of them. They're terrific people, and they did a lot of work. But there are other people that aren't on this list that have also been of significant help to us as we've been forming our new city and starting our city council. And those are people who may have doubted whether we should become a city or outright opposed that. But we've come together, and it's really awesome to have the help of people who were very much against incorporation, helping us out and doing things that make it possible for us to be one strong community. And that's what we're going to be, one strong community. We're no longer pro or anti, we're all pro Mill Creek. We're not East Siders or West Siders, we're pro Mill Creek. And our city council is going to work very hard to make that a reality. You know, we have a lot of, thank you. We have a lot of people to thank. It's really kind of impossible to thank all of them, and I'll leave somebody out and really regret that. But one of the things I want to say is we had a terrific transition committee that was started by Ann Ober and John Jansen and Tom Stevens and Andrew Gruber and Alan Westenskow, a bunch of people, David Muir, who helped us even back in July when we were still candidates before the primary to start getting ready to be a city. They put together a list of things that we needed to do, and they helped us along the way. Without their help, we wouldn't be where we are today. We're really in a good shape as a city to start and take our first steps. But I really want to thank the transition committee. I know that all of the members of the city council agree with that. I also want to thank all of the candidates who put themselves out there and ran for city office in Millcreek. It was an honor to run against about 35 candidates who volunteered to serve our city. It's an awesome thing, and I really appreciate the fact that the candidates worked together to help get our city started out right, and many of them are still involved. I really want to give special thanks to a couple of them. My opponent in the primary, Fred Healy, has been a supporter of mine, and I'm going to involve him in our new city. I really appreciate his support. On the other side of the aisle was Joanne Wong. Joanne Wong has attended almost every city council meeting that we've had pre-incorporation, and she has been constructive and given really good ideas to help us as we take our first steps. And I want to thank Scott Howell, who sat down with me and gave me some advice right after the primary and graciously decided not to mount a write-in campaign. But the point of this is that we are one community that when we work together, we can be completely awesome, and that's what we're going to do as a city. There are a lot of other people to thank, and I really want to talk more about where we're headed out from here. I'm going to steal a campaign slogan of one of the candidates, and I was informed tonight that maybe she stole it. But Sherry Jackson ran on a campaign, New City, Bright Future. And that encapsulates, I mean, all the other candidates tried to think of a good slogan. We couldn't come up with anything even close to that. So we're going to use her slogan going forward. We are a new city, and we have a bright future. And we are going to work. We are going to, as a city council, we're going to work our tails off for you to deliver the things that cities need to deliver. Number one, we want to deliver good services and improve those services for the benefit of the residents of Millcreek. We want to work to improve our infrastructure and make our community walkable and sustainable. We're going to work on that. The second building block is to build community, and we've started doing that, but as a city, that's one of the things we can really do better than ever before. We want to build the best Millcreek community we can. We have a place here where kids return to live in the same community that they grew up in. Why? Because Millcreek is just an awesome place to live in. We don't want to lose that. We want to build on that and make it even better than before. So we're going to work on building community like never before. And the last thing that a city government needs to do to be responsible is we need to plan our future. And we are going to do a new general plan and plan our future to keep Millcreek great and make it even better. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't wait to get started as your mayor. Like I said, I am very humbled and emotional about this job. But we're going to do our best for you, and we're going to be awesome. Thank you very much.